Teig and His Fiddle by Sean Guger. In order to begin our journey, I'd first like to just go over some key events in the story, The One Without a Story, in which Teig comes from. The story begins with a basket weaver named Teig, and initially he feels out of place and doesn't really know his talents. You could say that he's a stranger in his hometown. Then, after some strange occurrence of events, he winds up in a funeral. And once he's at the funeral, the people there ask him to play the fiddle. Well, without ever knowing he could play the fiddle, he picks it up and starts playing beautiful music. And at this time, he begins to realize that he does have a place within society. Right when he picks up that fiddle, he decides that he has a sense of belonging, and he's not a stranger. Also, on a local level, he begins to bring people together who are initially mourning to forget about their worries and just dance and rejoice in the music that he is playing. While this may just seem like a short little story or something a little bit like nonsensical, I feel like it could be amplified on many different levels. The first off, for me, on the personal level, is that I play the guitar. And hearing Teig learning to play the fiddle brings me back to the memory of me learning the guitar. And this all started when I went to one particular concert about 10 or so years ago. I was at this concert and I heard the music that I initially liked, but then what captivated me was witnessing all the people gathered together just listening to the music, singing and dancing. They seemed like they had not a worry in the world and they were just truly enjoying themselves. Therefore, I developed a desire to be the person on stage, to bring people together and help them forget about their worries. So, my love for music, my love for the guitar, and my love to bring people together all pointed for me to learn the guitar. And also, if you look at the instrument, the guitar itself, or a fiddle for that matter too, it's filled with two things, tension and resonance. And in order to have a perfect note, you need to be able to tune the tension of the strings to resonate within the body of the guitar, thus amplifying that note. And I feel like if you tune some tension correctly, it can resonate within society and produce what you want to hear, like in the guitar note, or as you'll see in some examples coming up, also in history. So to recap, we can say that Teig exhibited courage when he showed up as a stranger and picked up that fiddle and began to express himself and bring people together. So an example of this is Martin Luther King. For the civil rights movement, as an African American, Martin Luther King was a stranger in a tense environment, meaning 1950s, 60s America. And he was able to bring Americans together through speeches and rallies and have them all fight for the cause to give African American people more rights. He exhibited courage, and this tension shaped him into the person that he was. Another example is also Gandhi in India. Now, he wanted independence from England, and he used nonviolence. So another theme you can introduce here for Gandhi is that the tension in India and shaped him into someone that kind of based his actions on reciprocal altruism, meaning that if he doesn't lift a hand to the people that are oppressing him, maybe they'll start to realize that he's a nice guy and he deserves to be respected and treated fairly. And eventually it worked out because India did get its independence. So more generally, we'll start off by saying that there's tension in society. But a real question to pose is that if Martin Luther King and Gandhi did not live in societies with tension, would they feel the need to be the activists or idols that they became? Did society tune them to be these people? Is there a need of tension? Well, on a universal level, we can explore tuning by saying that people who experience tension are tuned to adjust to it, and that could either be for better or for worse. However, I feel that it's the people who try to tune society themselves to promote peace and justice that are the ones that are truly important, and Gandhi and Martin Luther King are prime examples of this. In addition to Martin Luther King and Gandhi, in conclusion, we can go back to Teig and say that his inner tension was that he did not have a story or he could not play the fiddle. He rose to the occasion. He exhibited courage to become a fiddle player when a fiddle player was needed. So society tuned him to become a fiddle player and eventually have a story. On my individual level, I enjoyed music and bringing people together. However, I had this inner tension. But then I had that particular event when I went to the concert and decided that I need to learn the guitar. So to summarize it all up for me personally, Society provided a way for me to shape this inner tension within me by tuning me to play the guitar and bringing people together, and thus I feel when I play I can promote peace and justice as I'm bringing people together.